Hello and welcome to Bharat at Cannes. We are in Cannes, the famous city on the French Riviera, where the Cannes Film Festival is on, and this is a special broadcast on DD India where we get you all the action from the festival and India's participation in it. So let's get started. The Bharat Pavilion at 108 Village International Riviera in Cannes has been inaugurated. This pavilion has a new look and feel to it that is rooted in Indian culture. It was an occasion to reflect on the strengths of Indian cinema, its growing international reach, and the potential for future collaborations between India's film and entertainment industry and its foreign counterparts. Take a look. In a year that spells magic for Bharat at the 77th Cannes Film Festival, with so many Indian selections across categories, the Bharat Pavilion was inaugurated amid much fanfare at this festival in France. Hosted each year at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival by the Information and Broadcasting Ministry of the Government of India, Bharat's participation is spearheaded by the National Film Development Corporation as the nodal agency and FICCI as the industry partner. The pavilion marks India's continued commitment to showcasing its rich cinematic heritage and fostering international collaborations with the global film fraternity. The grand inauguration ceremony was led by Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Sanjay Jaju and Indian Ambassador to France and Monaco Javed Ashraf. The momentous inauguration was witnessed by renowned filmmakers and industry leaders who came together to celebrate the essence of Indian cinema. The Bharat Pavilion is a dynamic platform. It provides a gateway to the diverse landscape of Indian films, talent and industry opportunities. It is set to host a series of scintillating panel discussions and networking sessions during the course of the festival and be the place that the Indian film fraternity calls home away from home. I spoke to the Information and Broadcasting Secretary in the Government of India on the new look Bharat Pavilion, the incentives offered by India to foreign filmmakers to film in India, and the Indian films that have made it to the official selection of the Cannes Film Festival this year. Take a look. Joining us in Cannes is India's Information and Broadcasting Secretary, Shri Sanjay Jaju. He is heading the Indian delegation to Cannes this year in 2024. Welcome, Secretary Sir, to DD India. You inaugurated the Bharat Pavilion. It's a pavilion in a new avatar this time around, and you spoke about how we've borrowed from Natya Shastra this time around. Tell us what does a pavilion in a new avatar really mean for India as a country, for Bharat as a country?
So, Bharat is in few years going to be the third largest economy in the world. We have the largest segment of our population living outside India. In fact, it's not just the economic ascendance that we are achieving, but at the same time, our soft power, our soft touch is also becoming and getting amplified all across the world. So we through the Bharat Pavilion, we wanted to convey that cinema or Natya Shastra goes back 2,500 years or even beyond, and that's how we picked up the theme from Natya Shastra. How this concept of Sutradhar started from our Natya Shastra, and all the nuances of filmmaking are actually spelt out in the Natya Shastra. And that's how, movies came to India, I think within a span of their inventions all over. Because, we have this whole culture of song, dance, drama embedded in our national ethos, in our DNA. And so we wanted to convey that through the India Pavilion and present a very composite picture so that all the industry associations, film associations, all combine and join under this overarching umbrella of Bharat Pavilion.
Before I come to the issue of film facilitations by India, I want to talk about Bharat Parv. For the first time, a festival of sorts, which is an Indian festival, is being organized here by India. Why is that significant?
It's significant because it gives us an opportunity to not just showcase what we have in terms of our culture, in terms of our filmmaking culture, but at the same time, a complete tapestry of cuisines, dances, drama, songs, and entertainment that's available. So we wanted to bring that under one roof. So we've created this new event called Bharat Parv, and we're very happy that it will not just see participation of all those who are participating from India, but all those who are interested in India, because the idea is to create in India. And when we say create in India, we're rolling out a red carpet to all those who have all the producers, the creators, to come and make films in India. We have the huge market for seeing films in our country, but at the same time, you have a lot of skill sets available. You have artists, you have production workers, you have crew available, you have post-production facilities available, and on top of it, we have also created a portal through which we give online clearances to all those who are applying to get permissions and incentives in an absolutely seamless fashion. So the whole idea is to create in India, for India and for rest of the world.
Give us a glimpse of what the future really holds, because we already have seamless facilitations, abundant incentives. But what are we going to do to further liberalize this space?
So globally, if you look at it, it's a huge business. The media and the entertainment segment is a huge business. It's a segment that's also getting very heavily disrupted by because of the advent of technology. And it's important that India is an IT powerhouse for the world, and we leverage that situation and try and bring a lot of post-production activities, filmmaking activities to our country. And that's how we look at the visual effects and the animation segment to be a propeller for the global media and the entertainment segment. And that's how we are trying to position India as the hub for the activities that actually become part of this overall canvas.
Lastly, you inaugurated the Bharat stall, which is in a way an amalgamation of commerce and cinema. What can we expect going forward?
So filmmaking is an economic activity. I mean, it's a creative activity, but it's also an economic activity. A lot of money gets spent when you make films, and it's important that this business remains remunerative. This business has returns on investment, and that's how this whole concept of creating marketplace, and in our own situations also creating film bazaars, where our independent producers, small time producers are not just able to find buyers, they are able to get exhibitors, and this whole activity has a huge employment and the economic potential. So it's important that we stitch all ends, and that's how we look at the marketplace being created here. And this is how we are going to also be looking at the International Film Festival of India, in which again opportunities will be provided to prospective sellers to come and exhibit their wares and try and get people who get enthused and interested in the work done by them.
Towards the end, we can't not talk about Indian films. All we imagine is light is in the competition section. Your message for Indian films?
So my congratulations. It's happening after many decades that we have a film which is in the competition section, and there are other films also which are being exhibited. At the same time, we have also created an opportunity of market screening for various films this time at Cannes. And the idea is again, to stitch the ends up and to fill the entire supply chain and the value chain, so that those who make films are able to find the market for their films and able to make money out of that, because that's what is ultimately going to create the economic multiplier for the segment.
After the inauguration of the Bharat Pavilion, I spoke to Indian-Canadian filmmaker Rishi Mehta. He told me about his efforts to export positive stories about India and how film festivals in India helped launch his career. Take a look. We are at the Bharat Pavilion of the Cannes Film Festival, and this is the place where all the action is concentrated as far as the Indian camp is concerned. Joining me today, somebody very special, Rishi Mehta, Indian-Canadian filmmaker known for Delhi Crime and Poacher. Welcome to DD India. What brings you to Cannes this time?
I just am very happy to be sharing in the Indian presence in Cannes this year, which is so special. After so many years, there's an Indian film in competition, there's Indian films in many of the sidebars, there's the classic screening of Manthan, and then there's this obviously incentive announcement and the presence of the ministry. I'm very happy to be a part of this.
Great to have you here. Also, what does it mean to be really at the inaugural ceremony of the Bharat Pavilion to somebody like you?
Look, again, as you said, I'm a Canadian Indian, right? So as an NRI, to for the last 20 years, I've been trying to to export positive stories about India, and utilizing some of the stereotypes and misconceptions the world has about India and turning it on its head. So for me, it's all about showing how incredible our culture is, how incredible the people are in India. And so to be a part of this inauguration, to be on stage here alongside these dignitaries, to me is very special as a Canadian NRI, because I identify as Indian, and to be included in this group is very special for me personally.
What are the strengths of Indian cinema that you see? Is it the post-production facilities that we have? Is it the power of storytelling? Or is it an amalgamation of a lot of things?
It's an amalgamation. I think the talent in India is unmatched globally. The fact that India makes the most amount of films in the world, just by itself, indicates that Indians have the most set time in terms of on-set experience of anyone in the world, on average. So to me, that the on-screen talent, the stories on which they can draw from, post-production, the craft, I think it's unmatched in India, having worked all over the world. And so to me, it's all about working with that, the art and the craft and the stories from India, and they've made me up my game as a result.
What is the future that you see as far as co-productions are concerned between India and various partner countries? As a Canadian Indian, as an NRI, are you looking at co-productions with India? And do you think that India has it in it to attract that kind of filmmaking?
I definitely think it does. It's very important for me, the co-production space with India, because I think what's happened in the last 10 years is Indian audiences are now very savvy as to what makes the best production value. You know, they're watching stuff from all over the world, and they're watching Indian projects, series and films, and certain budget requirements are there. And sometimes the Indian market can accommodate those budgets, sometimes they can't. And so to have partnerships, financial partnerships around the world with global talent, collaborating with Indian talent, I think is now what Indian audiences are expecting, because they're so savvy. So to me, what's happening now here with the co-production space is actually crucial to maintain the ecosystem.
But do you agree that there is growing visibility of Indian cinema on the world stage? Like we know, All We Imagine Is Light by Kapil Kapadia, and you referred to that, is now in the competition section after 30 long years. We've been winning Oscars as well. We've been winning in various categories in the Cannes in past. The Palme d'Or, then it was called Grand Prix in 1946 when Chetan Anand's Neecha Nagar won it. So do you think that over the years that visibility has grown?
Yes, and visibility is the key word, because I don't actually think Indian films and series have necessarily received their what they deserve on a global platform. So the visibility is increasing. The quality has always been there. I think now the world is starting to notice it, but I think it's long overdue, to be honest.
Concrete deliverables that you're looking at, have you set some goals? Are you looking at more networking for co-productions or for your future films?
A combination of many of those things are happening here. To be perfectly honest, you know, Delhi Crime, when we were financing it, hit a milestone when I was at the Cannes Film Festival in 2017. But for me, the biggest thing here is to support the community. You know, I live in London, so it's a train ride away for me. A lot of my friends are here showing films and colleagues. So I just want to be here to support, and I also want to receive that inspiration.
Right. Also, what do you think about the influence of various international film festivals that India has been hosting, like IFFI and MIFF?
Oh, again, for me, I mean, I have shown most of my films at various Indian international film festivals. Oftentimes, when I first started off in the industry, it was the only way for me to show my films in India, because the distribution network for what is considered art house cinema was not there. So it helped launch my career in India, to be honest. And I think it's continuing to do that for a lot of young filmmakers in India. And give them inspiration, give them opportunities to network. I mean, there's no way for many young filmmakers in India to connect with the international community except for places like IFFI. So to me, these are lifelines.
At the Cannes Film Market, there was a Bharat-focused panel discussion on abundant incentives and seamless facilitations come create in India. It explored the entire landscape of the incentives that India offers to foreign filmmakers to film in India and to have more co-productions with India. It also put the spotlight on the top-notch post-production facilities that India offers. Here are some excerpts from it.
So as our economy is shaping up, as our soft touch, I don't call it power because power can never be soft. I mean, you can't call it soft power. It's a soft touch that India offers. And I am pretty confident that the global media and the entertainment industry has a lot of work to do in India. You have the infrastructure, you have the skill sets, you have the technology, you have the funding, you have the facilitation that we are offering, and you have a huge market. So I think all this possibly gives us signs into what is going to shape the entertainment segment within our country.
The amount of filmmakers in India who are willing to take chances in terms of the narrative and go outside of the industry norms and start making films about their own life experiences, that's expanded exponentially in the last 20 years. Where people are starting to say, no, this is my life, this is my experience of my life. One thing I've discovered after 22 years of working in India is any human being who claims they know India is lying, because there is only their version of it. And having done 5 projects in Delhi, and then I went to the jungle in Kerala for a year and a half to do another project there, I realized the urban experience in India is literally a different planet. Delhi has more similarities to London than it does to Kerala. And then I started to realize that there is a whole breadth of experience out there, and filmmakers are now taking that risk to tell those stories. And it's not a political or ideological risk, it's a market risk to say, I'm going to go tell this story. I don't think Payal Kabadia's film would exist 20 years ago in terms of the risks, the co-productions, those opportunities that are available. And it's very exciting. It's a cultural can of worms, which is incredible.
It really made me want to, co-produce more films with India. And actually now I'm going to Film Bazaar every year because there are so many Indian talents there. So I'm going to mostly Film Bazaar precisely to meet with Indian filmmakers. I have 2 projects in development, and and I hope we will have another official co-production with France.
I spoke to the French producer of Shirkoa in Lives We Trust. It is an Indo-French animated feature co-production. She described to me her experience of working on this film that has already won accolades and her future plans of working with more Indian partners in the years to come. Take a look. We have with us here in Cannes Bic Quan Tran. She is the film producer of Shirkoa in Lives We Trust. She is a French, and this is an Indo-French co-production. Let's talk to her about her experience producing this particular co-production. Welcome to DD India. Tell us about this co-production of yours, and Ishan Shukla is associated with it. Tell us about how your experience was co-producing it.
So, yes, I met with Ishan Shukla at Film Bazaar in Goa in 2019. And his project instantly mesmerized me. He was actually the director of a short film named Shirkoa, which he made in 2016. That was longlisted to Academy Awards, went to 120 international film festivals, won more than 30 awards. So when I saw that short film, after he introduced his project for the animated feature, I instantly wanted to co-produce the movie. And so 1 month later, we actually signed together, and I brought on board also a German co-producer whom I known for a long time, Stefan Holm from Rapid Eye Movies, and so we started working all together. And I have also to say that it's a very innovative animated feature because it's 2D, 3D, and it's using for the first time for an animated feature that is meant for theatrical release, Unreal Engine, which is a video game engine that is used by live-action movies like Dune, Star Wars, The Mandalorian. So that was an extremely ambitious, innovative animated feature for many reasons. And so we enhanced, in fact, that ambition by bringing international talents, both from France, but also from other countries and India. So we were very lucky to have Indian talents for voiceover, guest star voiceover, like Anurag Kashyap, Karan Johar, Shikhar Kapoor, Piyush Mishra, and many more. Actually, we had also Sneha Kanwakar who did the music. And as far as international talents were concerned, we had Gaspar Noé, Gurshifte Farahani, Azer Argento, Soko, Lav Diaz. So it was a very passionate project where people came on board out of instant love for the movie and for Shirkoa's universe and for Ishan's incredibly imaginative world. And so the movie was world premiere in Rotterdam Film Festival earlier this year in 2024, and it won the NetPac Award for Best Asian Film, actually, so we're very proud of it. And now we're waiting for the movie to premiere in Asia and in South Asia, so meaning in India, so we hope it will be shown precisely in Goa, where it all started, you know, so we would be very proud to show it with that respect. And it was a wonderful experience in terms of co-production, you know, between France and India, because we benefited from the bilateral co-production treaty that was signed between those two governments, which enabled the movie to have both nationalities, Indian nationality and French nationality, and this really helps in terms of worldwide distribution. We have a sales agent, and it's a very good sales agent that have movies at every A category film festivals. The movie already sold to several territories in America, in Europe, and yes, it's a wonderful journey that is only starting.
So would you like to do more co-productions with India now that there are incentives in place?
Yes, ever since 2019, except for the year of the pandemic, I came back to Film Bazaar in Goa. So it's been 3 times already, and I do plan to come in November again, so that will be the 4th time, because I think there are huge potential of Indian talents, you know, so every time I meet with filmmakers, artists, and right now I have 2 Indian projects in development, actually, and yes, the goal will always be to facilitate co-production, both from a creative and financial point of view, and I think that all the incentives, but also the bilateral treaties that FFO is putting in place really helps that.
I can't let you go without asking you the storyline of the film.
It's thank you for asking the question. It's actually a very special movie. It's a science fiction, fantasy, dystopian movie. Let's say it's a little bit of Blade Runner, 1984 or Brazil, and it's a city called Shirkoa where the citizens have to wear paper bags on their heads to dissolve differences, and this is until the main character discovers that there may be a world without a bag, but we don't know if it's a myth or if it's a reality.
That's it in this edition of Bharat at Cannes. We'll see you again tomorrow with more action from the Cannes Film Festival and India's participation in it. Until then, goodbye. Thanks for watching.